So freehand sketching of machine component, that chapter we were started. Okay, so and basic things we have discussed. So what is the importance of freehand sketching, and then nut bolt. So types of nuts we have seen. Okay, so just we will take quick recap. Okay, so what we have seen till now. Okay, so this is the name of the chapter what you are observing on the screen. Then syllabus, it is in front of you. So it is in front of you. Okay, so what the syllabus it is there. So this is one is the biggest chapter in the syllabus what we have discussed. Okay, so slowly we have started. This one is the syllabus importance we have seen. So irrespective of having n number of instruments and n number of softwares also, this chapter is most important in the syllabus because many more practical things, even practical components we were going to study in this. So that's why it is important. So that list is in front of you. Okay, so whatever it is there to make rough sketches to convey the if we want, because finally once we want to draw any drawing, finally it is not possible to go directly to final drawing. Before that, some things we have to make, it is necessary. Okay, so rough sketch, then we have to refine some idea, we have to modify, etc. Even if some concepts are not there in our mind at the spot, or we can say on the spot, even we after discussion we can get that concept. Means irrespective of your workplace, whether it may be company, whether it may be whatever, so irrespective of that also it is important. Okay, so after that we have said thread terminology. So threads, so basically there are two types of threads we have seen. One is external, one is internal. Okay, so before going to the threads, what is thread terminology that we have seen? Okay, shall I ask one term here? What is pitch and what is lead? Quickly, can anybody tell what is lead and what is pitch? These two terms we have seen.
Distance between two consecutive similar points is called a pitch. And once we are going to rotate nut or bolt through one complete rotation, distance advanced by nut or bolt is called a lead.
Very good, thank you. So lead and pitch, so that we have seen. So pitch, it is the distance between 2 points, but how should be that 2 points? Similar and consecutive. Okay, very simple. And lead means what? It is also a distance, but it is advanced or something. Once we are going to rotate nut or bolt through one complete rotation, so it is lead. In this pitch, both are distances, but what that we have to see. Pitch is nothing but it is a distance between two consecutive and similar point, and lead means what? Once we are going to rotate nut or bolt, whatever distance is advanced by nut or bolt, it is called as lead that we have seen. Okay, so crest, topmost, root, bottommost, flank means surface, etc. Major diameter, minor diameter, the diameter which is passing through that. Then right hand and left hand thread. So basically again there are two methods to identify right hand thread and left hand thread. Okay, basically two methods. Which are they? One is orientation method. So we have to see a line orientation observation we have to go for. So likewise, so this line is going from where to where, that we have to see from where to where this line is going. I have drawn one particular line from left to right. So this side is left, this side is the right. So whenever that line is going from left to right, it is called as right hand thread. Where, on which direction it is going? Towards the right hand side. That's why it is called as right hand thread. On the other hand, left hand thread. If the light is going towards left hand, it is called, means something like this. If it is a something like this, in this way, so it is called as left hand thread. So this one is one. And another one, what is method? Another one to understand this rotation method. Once we are going to rotate nut or bolt through one complete rotation, once we are going to rotate nut or bolt through one, we can say if at all we are going to rotate in clockwise direction, if it is going advance, it is a right hand thread, provided that in right hand you have to hold nut bolt, in left hand you have to hold nut. So clockwise rotation plus advance is equal to right hand thread. That formula we have seen. Clockwise rotation plus advance, advance means going forward, मराठी मध्ये पुढे जाणे, is equal to right hand thread. Something like this we have seen. Okay, further after that threads we have seen, types of threads. So which two things are important once we are going to see types of thread? Which things are important? Can anybody tell?
Thread angle and application.
Very good. Thread angle and application is important. Whenever you are going to come across any one type of thread, immediately you should remember what is its thread angle and what is its application. So that diagram, etc., it is in front of you. You can draw in on your own. There is nothing. But once we are going to see this, so it is very important. So with worm thread, what is thread angle? Quickly, we have seen this. What is thread angle in case of with worm thread?
55 degree.
55. And what is its application?
Click proof.
So for multiple choice question, it is very important. Thread angle of with worm or BSW thread, it is 55. Its application is leak proof application. Likewise, it is very important. Further, square thread. Square thread. What is angle? Angle of square thread?
0.
0. And what is concern 90 degree or perpendicular in case of square thread? 90 degree or
Power transmission.
where power transmission?
Flank makes angle with axis.
Somebody has given answer power transmission, but it is related to bevel gear, not here. It was related to bevel gear, not here. So what? How it is related in case of square thread? That flank means surface is at 90 degree to the axis. That's why the surface is at 90 degree to the axis. That's why it is. It may be called as square. Or here it is making 90 degree angle square. Here it is making angle as 90 degree like this. Okay, that's why a square thread. We can call it as a square thread. High power transmission is the best example of this. High power transmission. So I have given two examples of square thread where it is applied. Can anybody tell? In case of vehicles, what is the name of that?
Screw.
Very good. Screw jack and lead screw. For multiple choice question, it is very important. In case of screw thread, which type of? In case of screw jack, which type of threads are used? 1, 2, 3, 4. One of the answer will be square thread. One of the option will be square thread. So you have to select that option, square thread. Screw jack and lead screw. So in lathe machine, maybe in your first year engineering, you might have came across lathe machine, maybe in basic mechanical or some subject. So in that case, it is used. In case of lathe machine, it is used. Further, one is Acme thread. What is the angle of Acme thread? ACME thread or Acme thread? How much it is?
29 degree.
29 degree. Angle of Acme thread is 29 degree. Okay. And its application is bench wise. Its application is bench wise that we have seen. Okay. Further, V thread. What is another name of V thread? Another name of V thread?
Sharp and metric.
Either we can call it a sharp or metric. So it is where it is used. Application V threads.
Nut and bolt.
Commonly it is used threads. This is the type of threads which is very commonly nut and bolts. All types of nuts and bolts is having this type of thread. Further, angle is 60 degree. Further, it is angle is 60 degree. Okay. Okay. Further, angle is 60 degree, and famously it is called as metric thread that we have to see. Further, after that we have seen buttress thread. So what is the special in buttress thread? Can anybody tell quickly what is special in case of buttress thread?
Angle is 45 and 90 degree.
Or it is correct, but in other words also we can say one of the flank is at 45 and one of the flank is at perpendicular direction. Also we can show like this: one of the flank is at 45, one of the flank is at 90 degree. Okay, so one directional power transmission is the best example of buttress thread. One directional power transmission is one best example of buttress thread. Knuckle thread, mainly it is used for which components? Knuckle thread?
Plastic.
Mainly it is used for plastic components and its profile is very smooth. What is the angle of knuckle thread? Many times it was asked in a university exam. Angle of knuckle thread is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one of the option will be how much? One of the option will be
30 degree.
how much it is? 30 degree. Here it is there. So one of the option will be 30 degree and mainly it is used for plastic component. Knuckle thread, plastic component. So these types of threads we have seen. After that, we have started types of nuts. Types of nuts. Okay. And in that, we have seen these many types of nut. How many types are there? You are observing on the screen right now. How many types you are observing on the screen right now?
11 types.
11 types are there. So I will read now. Hexagonal nut, square nut, hinged nut, cap nut, dome nut, wing nut, then capstan nut, castle nut, lock nut, and knurling nut. These many types are there, which are in front of you. Okay, so one by one. So we have discussed all these nuts already. We have discussed, but just we are taking revision. Hexagonal nut. Why we are calling it as a hexagonal nut? The answer should be immediately. It should come in your mind. Why we are calling it as a hexagonal nut? Why we are calling it as a hexagonal nut? Because what is the answer for this?
Periphery is bounded by hexagon.
Very good. Periphery is bounded by hexagon. Periphery is bounded by hexagon. That's why it is called as hexagonal. A question may come in your mind. Why it is called hexagon? You have seen in engineering graphics, EGD, hexagon, pentagon, square, whatever. So its periphery is bounded by hexagon. That's what is called hexagon. Further, what is this D? What D is called as this? So here it is there D. What is the name of
Nominal
this?
diameter.
Or nominal diameter or
Major.
major diameter. Means if at all you will go to any hardware shop, you will ask for nut or bolt. It will ask for nut or bolt. So how it will be specified? We have discussed this. Suppose you want to purchase one nut or bolt. Being a mechanical engineer, what you will say to the shopkeeper, especially hardware shopkeeper? What you will say? तुम्हाला नट बोल्ट विकत घ्यायचे आहेत, तुम्ही हार्डवेअर शॉप मध्ये गेलेला आहात आणि काय सांगणार दुकानदारला? How you are going to tell specifications of nut and bolt in terms of kilogram? तुम्ही म्हणणार का 2 किलो नट पाहिजेत, or whether you are going to tell in terms of number, मला 10 नट पाहिजेत, 5 पाहिजेत, 20 पाहिजेत? हाऊ कसे सांगणार दुकानदारला की हा असा असा नट पाहिजे? what a shopkeeper will ask. So in terms of this major diameter or nominal diameter, immediately tell me size. What shopkeeper will tell me the size of nut. It may be 12, it may be M stands for major diameter, M10 something, M8, you want M8 something like this. So this is this diameter D. And further, so it is not given in terms of number in case of kgs etc. Okay, but it is given in this term, something like this. So size, it is specified in terms of size, that is this internal size, major diameter. Okay, threading size. So further we have seen its height is equal to D, height is equal to D. Then width across flat, how much it is? Width across flat, can anybody remember? 1.5 D plus
3.
How much? Plus 3. So it is also asked in many times. Again this width across corner, how much it is? Width across
2D.
corner 2D. Width across corner is 2D, that we have seen. Okay, so this one. So these are the specifications of that. Okay, so further square nut we have seen, whenever that boundary is bounded by square, it is called as square nut. It is as simple as this. But question may come in your mind, what is the difference? All terminology is same in case of hexagon and in case of square, but whenever there is space, limitation of space, in that case this square nut is used. So in practical you will find very rarely this square nut, rarely. Oftenly, frequently you will find this hexagonal nut, but you will find rarely this square nut. You can observe probability of finding hexagonal nut is more in practical, than this square nut. That also you can see. Hinged nut. What is hinged nut? Can anybody tell quickly what is hinged nut? Hinged nut.
It is hexagonal nut with washer attached to its bottom.
100% correct. It is a hexagonal nut with washer attached to its bottom. So what is washer? Why washer is attached? So this one is washer. So here at the bottom it is a washer, or here it is a washer. Here it is a washer. What is washer? मराठीमध्ये आपण वायसर म्हणतो, but the correct technical name is washer. So whenever we are using this nut bolt arrangement, what is the main function to use washer? Tight fitting. But how? It is helping us to increase contact area. So your mom subject, you are knowing very famous definition of stress. Stress is equal to, maybe suppose, force upon area. If at all this area is going to be increased, what will happen to your stress? If area is going to increase from this relation, it will decrease. Stress will decrease. So that is our aim. So mainly in our day-to-day life, what is the aim of washer? One is the tight fitting, and another one is to increase the area and distribute the force. If at all some delicate components are there, and if at all we are going to add this nut and bolt, the probability is that it may get damaged. That's why, to avoid the damage of component, it will increase the area, it will distribute the force, automatically stress will be reduced. What is the outer diameter of that washer? Outer diameter of washer, where it is? What is the specification? Here it is, outer diameter. And what is its thickness? Here it is. Thickness is 0.25D. That is the thickness of that washer. Further, dome nut. So dome nut and cap nut are related to same, or one of the same. Only top surface structure is different in case of dome nut and cap nut. Correct. So why for dome nut and cap nut are used? It is in front of you. Just you tell me why for it is used. I have told this also. Whenever we don't want, what it should not come out of nut. काय बाहेर आलं नाही पाहिजे नट मधून?
Bolt end.
Bolt end. Why? काय येऊ नये असं आपली अपेक्षा आहे? Why we feel that bolt end should not come out of nut? What will happen if at all it will come out of nut?
Corrosion and injury to operator.
Corrosion. It may cause corrosion to operator because in case of some machinery, it is always rotating element, or it will avoid corrosion and injury. These two words you remember in case of dome nut and cap nut. Further, wing nut. What is wing nut? In one sentence, we will tell what is wing nut. Wing nut.
It is having projection on its periphery.
Very good. It is having projections on its periphery. What is the special in case of wing nut? When we have to use wing nut? Who will tell? Wing nut's specialty काय? What we are not using while tightening or loosening of this nut? हा nut tight किंवा loose करताना काय वापरत नाही? We are not using spanner. Okay, why? Because whenever it is necessary to लूज और टाइट दिस नट फ्रिक्वेंटली, सारखाच आपल्याला काय करावं लागतं? आयदर हा टाइट करावा लागतो किंवा लूज करावा लागतो. प्रत्येक केस मध्ये स्पॅनर घेणं शक्य नाही. दॅट्स वाय दॅट टू प्रोजेक्शन्स आर प्रोव्हाइडेड ऑन द नट टू make it frequent, loose or tight, and the specifications are in front of you. Okay, so whatever it is, okay, that is the wing nut. Further, castle nut, not castle, capstan. याची स्पेशालिटी काय आहे कॅप्स्टन नटची? It is bounded by,
it is having round periphery.
Round periphery. This type of capstan nut is having round periphery, and further now you are telling correctly, it is having holes, drilled holes on its periphery. And whenever we want to go for drilling operation on its periphery, whenever we want to have drilling operation on its periphery, we can directly tight the nut on that component. Okay, or we can fit that nut on that component and go for drilling. It is as simple as this. It is as simple as this. Correct. Further, ring nut. What is another name of ring nut?
Retaining nut.
Very good. Retaining nut. Retain, धरून ठेवणे in Marathi. Retain means धरून ठेवणे, to keep it. So retaining nut means what? Whenever we want to retain a component on its assembly, in that case, this ring nut is used. Okay. And one more special thing is that it is having slots on its periphery. It is having slots on its periphery, and special C-spanner is used. Special C-spanner is used to tighten this nut, and it is used in bicycle. So if you'll come across bicycle, in case of handle and in case of pedal, this ring nut is used. You can see carefully. Okay, so to have that or to retain that component in a assembly, that is the specialty of ring nut. And in one sentence, you can tell ring nut is not having slots on its periphery, so you can observe slots. It is in front of you, ring nut. Further, castle nut and lock nut. Castle nut and lock nut. What is the common in this castle nut? 9th number and 10th is lock nut. त्याच्यामध्ये कॉमन काय आहे? कॅसल नट अँड लॉक नट. Castle nut and lock nut. In case of what these two types are used? म्हणजे काय असताना हे दोन वापरले जातात? कॅसल नट अँड लॉक नट.
Due to vibration, nut should not lose.
त्याच्यामध्ये कॉमन आहे व्हायब्रेशन. ज्या ठिकाणी व्हायब्रेशन असतात या ठिकाणी हे दोन नट वापरले जातात. कुठले? कॅसल नट अँड लॉक नट. नाउ कॅसल नट means whenever there are vibration and this nut should not get loose due to vibration. In that case, this castle nut and lock nut are used. So what precaution is taken while it should not get loose? Okay, castle nut, specialty of castle nut, again it is having slots at one of the end. That ring nut was having slots, complete slot on its periphery, but it is having slots on its one of the end. Okay, and what component is used along with this castle nut to avoid the loosening of that nut? कुठला component वापरला जातो along with that castle nut? What is that name of component?
Split pin.
Very good. Here it is. Here it is. You can see split pin. It is called as split pin. So it is called as split pin. You can see here. It is called as split pin. Okay. So castle nut vibration. So that diagram is also in front of you. You can practice this diagram. Okay. Lock nut. काय स्पेशल आहे लॉक नट मध्ये? What is lock nut?
Two nuts fitted on single bolt.
Okay. So whatever is in front of you, you have to see. Roll number 3, Bosle. I will ask now one by one. Bosle, Asawari. Unmute yourself. What is lock nut? So what do you know about lock nut? You can tell fast. Let me check whether you
One
were
bolt and two nuts, sir.
सांगा Bosle. Bosle सांगा
One
की
bolt and two nuts are in lock nut.
What is its mechanism? Partially correct. There are two nuts on single bolt. Correct. How it is fit, or what is the we can say mechanism? हे कसे बसवले जातात? पहिल्यांदा काय केलं जातं? एका बोल्ट वरती पहिला नट बसवला जातो, नंतर काय केलं जातं? परत दुसरा नट घेतला जातो, परत तो बसवला जातो, नंतर काय केलं जातं? सोडून द्यायचं आहे तसंच. Whether we have to keep as it is or some process still we have to go for. One nut we have taken, suppose one nut we have taken, on that we have fixed another, we have taken one bolt on which we have to fit one nut. Further, one more nut we have to fit. After that, once they are going to touch each other, we have to rotate in opposite direction. We have to rotate in opposite direction so that it will get fit. काय मेकॅनिझम आहे आता सांगा बसले, काय आहे मेकॅनिझम? एक बोल्ट घ्यायचा, त्याच्यावरती एक नट बसवायचा, परत एक नट बसवायचा आणि पुढे काय करायचं? व्हॉट वी हॅव टू डू फर्दर? Once two nuts are going to touch each other, what we have to do further?
Fit
ना?
करो.
हा, काय करायचं? करेक्ट. हा, कोण सांगते? अवताडे जगन्नाथ. What we have to do further?
Rotate in opposite direction.
Very good. Rotate in opposite direction so that they will get fit. याचं एक्झाम्पल एक सांगितलं होतं बघा, डे टू डेज लाईफ. कुणाला आठवतंय का? बेस्ट
Truck
एक्झाम्पल
wheels.
म्हणून मी that is truck wheels. Also one more I have told, truck wheel. That is very good. That one is correct example. हे ट्रक व्हील मध्ये हे असतात, म्हणजे आपण तुम्ही जर if you observe the wheels of truck, bus, etc. you will see this mechanism. अजून एक सांगितलं होतं बघा, टू व्हीलर मध्ये कुठं असतात का असे नट? टू व्हीलर मध्ये इन केस ऑफ टू व्हीलर वेदर लॉक नट मेकॅनिझम. हा बरोबर आहे, कोणी सांगितलं? टू व्हीलर, who is telling it is correct? Two wheeler,
mirror of bike.
very good. Mirror of bike. In that two things you will see. Mirror of bike. दोन आपली जी टू व्हीलर असते त्याचे जे मिरर असतात हँडल वरती बसवलेले, त्याच्यामध्ये दोन गोष्टी शिकता येतात तुम्हाला. एक म्हणजे टाइप्स ऑफ थ्रेड, लेफ्ट हँड अँड राईट हँड, नंबर 1. अँड अनदर वन इज दिस लॉक नट. इट विल रोटेट द मिरर ऑन द हँडल इन वन डायरेक्शन. तुम्ही जर दोन जे आरशे असतात हँडल वरती, दोन्ही जर एकाच डायरेक्शनला फिरवायला लागला तुम्ही, तर काय होतं? दोन्ही बाजूला निघतात का? व्हॉट इज युअर ओपिनियन? What is your opinion? Whether two will get loose? तुम्ही पाहिले का नाही बघा प्रॅक्टिकली? जर दोन मिरर हँडल वरचे तुम्ही जर एकाच डायरेक्शनला रोटेट केले तर एक टाईट होईल, दुसरा लूज होईल. कशामुळे होईल असं? One will get tight, another will get loose. Why it is so? Why it is so? Because of their opposite thread. कारण त्याचे अपोजिट थ्रेड असतात, एकावर राईट असले तर दुसऱ्यावर लेफ्ट असतात. एक लक्षात, दॅट इज वन. अनदर वन इज लॉक नट. त्या थ्रेडच्या वरती एक तुम्हाला नट बसवलेला दिसेल. तुम्ही जर गेला, व्हॉट वी कॅन से, गॅरेज, जर गॅरेज वरती गेला आणि म्हटला की हा मिरर सारखाच लूज होतोय, व्हॉट दॅट पर्सन विल डू? दोन नट बसवलेले दिसतील तुम्हाला. You will observe that two nuts, once that are going to touch each other, it will rotate in opposite direction. You can see this very carefully. Practical example, knurling nut. So as we seen in first chapter, knurling nut is nothing. Knurling is a structure provided on component to avoid what? To avoid, knurling is a provided on the mechanical component to avoid what?
Slippage.
Slippage. Very good. To avoid slippage. Okay. To avoid the slippage. And that type of nut, whenever it is, this structure is provided on the nut, then it is called as knurling nut. Example. What is the example of this? Example of this? Bicycle.
Cap of battle.
Or
Bottle.
बरोबर आहे. कोण आहे? Type of
Bottle.
very good. Cap of bottle. It is also कुठला असतात? बरोबर आहे, 100%. Which type of threads are there on the bottle cap? बिस्लरीची बॉटल बघितली असेल तर असतात, बिस्लरीची बॉटल वर असतात का? इनले बिस्लरी, यू कॅन सी, यू विल ऑब्झर्व दिस. हे जर टाईट असतील, मऊ असेल ते असे स्मूथ वन, you cannot open that. You keep in mind. Best example, roll number 12 has given best example. Very good. Even it is there in bicycle hand pump, where we are filling the air in the bicycle tube. Also you will find. So your observation is necessary. Now types of bolt. Let us say types of bolt now. Okay, so it is also same. So it is very easy as compared to types of nut. It is very easy and very less types of nuts bolts are there. Can anybody read loudly? कोण वाचतंय मोठ्यानं? Types of bolt. तुम्ही आहात का? Shall I give opportunity to Aniket Dubal 27? Aniket, Aniket. कोण वाचतंय? Just take one of. Can someone take opportunity to read these names? Types of bolt first. कोण घेतंय का नाही? मयुरी अभंगराव. अभंगराव, roll number 1. अभंगराव, roll number 1. आता जॉईन झालेत रोल नंबर 1. हा, अरबाज शेख, राहुल सलगरे, रोहित रोडे. एनीवन?
Yes, sir. May I?
हा, 100%. Take the opportunity.
Bolts: one square-headed bolt, second hexagonal-headed bolt, third cup-headed bolt, fourth T-headed bolt, fifth rack foundation bolt, sixth stud.
Very good. Thank you. Just we have to read nothing. Thank you. So if you see first two out of this, if you see first two in name itself, it is mentioned all things. In name itself, it is mentioned. What is that? So its head is square. That's why it is called as square-headed bolt. Second one is its head. So whatever these types are there, first 4 types, depending upon its head, डोकं कसं आहे त्या नटचं त्याच्यावरती एवढे टाईप पडलेत बघा. पहिले 4 आणि याला फाउंडेशन याच्यामध्ये अजून 2 टाईप आहेत. दॅट वी विल सी. And this one is stud. It is special type of bolt. Let us see one by one. So square-headed bolt. Its head is square. तुम्हाला दिसतंय का? तर whenever we will come across bolt, so bolt is mainly divided into 2 types. One is head. So square-headed bolt. Square-headed bolt. So head plus that part which is there, which is having threading, it is called as shank. त्याला शंक असं म्हटलं जातं. आणि हेड इक्वल टू बोल्ट, तो बोल्ट तयार होतो. लक्षात ठेवा थोडं. So in bolt there are, bolt is divided into 2 parts, which are the head. त्या बोल्टचं हेड जे काय आहे ते, आणि शांक. शांक म्हणजे काय, कशाला म्हणायचं शांक? SHANK. शांक मीन्स ज्याच्यावरती थ्रेडिंग आहे तो पार्ट, cylindrical part on which there is a threading, it is called as shank. So head plus shank is equal to bolt. So here you can see, or you can take screenshot of this. So what is this? In case of square headed bolt, that bolt head is square and remaining part you can see. What is the thickness or width? What is the thickness or width? So you can first, you have to see here D. You can see here D. Okay, so this D on this. So standard dimension, the threading is there for this 2D dimension. Total length is L. The thickness of that head is 0.75 D. 0.75 D. Likewise. लक्षात? Are you with me? Square-headed bolt का म्हणायचं त्याला square-headed bolt? हा, बोलत चला, रिस्पॉन्स देत चला. Otherwise, I feel that you are not getting anything. Why we are calling it as a square-headed bolt? The square-headed bolt का म्हणायचं?
Head is square type.
Okay, because its head is square. बोल्टचे दोन पार्ट कुठले, और हाऊ इन विच टू पार्ट्स बोल्ट इज डिवायडेड? एखादा बोल्ट कुठल्या दोन पार्ट मध्ये डिवाइड केला जातो?
हेड अँड शंक.
हेड अँड शंक. शंक कोणाला म्हणायचं? टू whom we should call it as a shank?
Cylindrical
To
part
whom?
on which threading is provided.
Very good. Cylindrical part on which threading is provided, it is called shank. Very simple. Nothing is there. It is very simple. So you can see square headed bolt. Further, hexagonal headed bolt. काय फरक आहे मग स्क्वेअर हेडेड बोल्ट आणि हेक्झॅगोनल हेडेड बोल्ट? नावातच आहे. स्क्वेअर हेडेड बोल्ट इट्स हेड इज स्क्वेअर. हेक्झॅगोनल हेडेड बोल्ट इट्स हेड इज हेक्झॅगोनल और हेक्झॅगॉन. कॉमनली कुठला बघता तुम्ही प्रॅक्टिकल मध्ये? तो कॉमनली कुठला पाहता इन जनरल? लेट अस सी वर ऑब्झर्वेशन. इन प्रॅक्टिकल विच इज कॉमनली युज्ड बोल्ट, हेक्झॅगोनल और स्क्वेअर?
Hexagonal.
Hexagonal. Very good. Hexagonal. One more difference, so that I have. So तर इथं what is this symbol? हा कुठल्या थ्रेडचा सिम्बॉल आहे? मध्ये दिसतोय बघा, दोन सर्कल आहेत, एक इनकम्प्लीट आहे, एक कम्प्लीट आहे. What is that symbol?
External thread.
एक्सटर्नल. एक्सटर्नल थ्रेड मध्ये काय म्हटलं होतं आपण बघा, BIS कन्व्हेन्शन मध्ये, whenever there is external thread, external circle is
Complete.
complete. So are you observing that? That also you should observe here. In case of both square-headed bolt and square hexagonal headed bolt, external circle is complete. Whether here it is there, so you can zoom on your mobile. I will try. Yes, you can zoom on your mobile and you can check whether that external circle is complete. So square and hexagonal. Further, which is next one? T-headed bolt. So why it is called a T-headed bolt? Again, why it is so T-headed? Why? Because its head is something like T, but it is inverted. Inverted means what? Inverted. Invert image. हा शब्द ऐकला असेल बऱ्याच जणांनी. Inverted means what? Inverted. What do you understand by this? Inverted. First. Inverted म्हणजे काय? Inverted म्हणजे उलटी. इथं बघा हा टी कसा आहे, असा आहे हा टी. म्हणजे आपला ऍक्च्युअली एबीसीडी मधला अल्फाबेट मधला टी हा असा असतो, परंतु ह्याचं जे हेड आहे ना, इन प्रॅक्टिकल इट इज समथिंग लाईक दिस. उलटा आहे, उलटा. समथिंग लाईक इनवर्टेड टी. सो or we can say its head is something like T. T सारखा आहे बघा इथे दिसतं का? This one is head. That's why it is called as T-headed bolt. Okay, that's why it is called T-headed bolt. Further, हे कुठं वापरले जातात? So it is mainly used in milling machine. तर मिलिंग मशीन पाहिले का कोणी? मिलिंग मशीन तर त्याच्यावरती काय असतात, असे टी स्लॉट्स असतात. टी स्लॉट्स. So such T slots are provided on something like this on milling machine. Okay, असे टी स्लॉट्स असतात मिलिंग मशीन वर, समथिंग लाईक दिस. हे असे. आता मी हॅचिंग करतोय, जेवढं हॅचिंग आहे तेवढं सॉलिड पार्ट आहे. सॉलिड. इट इज वन सॉलिड. सॉलिड आहे सगळं. म्हणजे रिमेनिंग जी पोकळी राहते, इट इज वन हॉलो वन. त्या हॉलो पार्ट मध्ये काय केलं जातं, हे बोल्ट बसवले जातात टू फिक्स द कॉम्पोनंट इन टी स्लॉट्स ऑफ मिलिंग मशीन. हा प्रश्न बऱ्याच वेळा विचारला जातो. वेअर टी हेडेड बोल्ट्स आर युज्ड? व्हॉट शुड बी युअर आन्सर? T-headed bolts are used in milling machine to clamp the component, machine component, or to clamp the job. तुम्ही पाहिले का मिलिंग मशीन? कोणी पाहिली? हॅव यू सीन मिलिंग मशीन? तर मिलिंग हे एक मशीन आहे, सांगावं लागेल तुम्हाला. डिप्लोमा कोण असेल तर त्यांना माहित असेल कदाचित. मिलिंग मशीन पाहिले नसेल तर तुम्ही ज्यावेळी कॉलेजमध्ये असाल त्यावेळी आपण पाहूया. त्या मिलिंग मशीन वरती एक बेड असतो असा मशीन वरती, आणि त्याला असे स्लॉट असतात. त्याच्यामध्ये हा नट घ्यायचा, म्हणजे हा नट आहे तसा उचलायचा, हा टी इथं बसेल बरोबर इथं असा. म्हणजे नट कसा बसेल? इनवर्टेड टी असा नट बसेल बघा. इट इज समथिंग लाईक दिस. इट विल फिट समथिंग लाईक दिस. इनवर्टेड टी. ओके. सो meanwhile you can remember this T-headed bolt. ह्याला T-headed का म्हणायचं? Because its head is T. and its head is T and it is used in case of milling machine. कुठल्या machine वर वापरले जातात T headed bolt? In case of where? कुठे वापरले जातात? Are you with me? It is used in
milling machine.
milling machine. कशासाठी? मिलिंग मशीन मध्ये कशासाठी वापरायचे? टू होल्ड और टू क्लॅम्प. क्लॅम्प म्हणजे बांधून ठेवणे. और टू होल्ड और टू क्लॅम्प अ मशीन और कंपोनेंट ऑन इट्स बेड. मला पाहायला मिळेल. I thought you might have not seen milling machine till now. You can see. Even in Google you can search milling machine. Even you can search milling machine bed. You will see these blocks. Okay. T-headed bolt that we have seen. Cup-headed bolt. Cup. So its head is something like again cup. तर याचा जो काय शेप आहे तो कप सारखा आहे. Something like this. Okay, that's why maybe something or something like this cup. तर हे कुठं वापरलं जातं? Where are this cup? Its head is again something like cup. That's why it is called cup-headed bolt. Further, where it is used? याचा शेप असा का केलेला आहे? Once we want that head of bolt, it should not come above the surface. म्हणजे काय वाटतं की ह्याचं जे हेड आहे ते सरफेसच्या वरती यायला नाही पाहिजे. In that case, cup-headed bolts are used. For example, you are at your home. Otherwise, if you might have in your class, तुम्ही जर तुमच्या क्लासमध्ये बेंचवर बसलेला असता यावेळी तर त्या बेंचला वरचं जे अप्पर सरफेस आहे बेंचचा तो त्याच्या बॉडी संग टाईट करण्यासाठी कप हेडेड बोल्ट वापरले जातो. ते बेस्ट एक्झाम्पल आहे. कप हेडेड बोल्ट्स आर युज्ड इन केस ऑफ बेंचेस. तुम्ही बेंचवर जर बसला किंवा कधी कॉलेजमध्ये येत चलाता त्यावेळी तुम्ही पाहू शकता की cup headed bolts are used in case of benches. Or purpose of cup headed bolt is what? Purpose of cup headed bolt is what? काय purpose सांगितला मी cup headed bolt चा purpose? That head bolt should not come bolt head should not come above surface. That is the aim. म्हणजे काय असतं की आपल्याला तुम्हाला जर लिहिता येईल का मग ह्या जर बोल्टचा हेड सरफेसच्या वरती आला असतो तुम्हाला लिहिता येईल का नोटबुक मध्ये वगैरे? It may not be. That's why the aim of that cup-headed bolt is what? The head of bolt should not come above surface. That is the aim. So why it is called a cup-headed bolt? Because its head is something like cup. Further, foundation bolt. Foundation. There are two types of foundation bolt. One is rag, another one is eye. One is rag foundation bolt, and another one is eye foundation bolt. So what is a rag and what is eye foundation bolt? You keep in mind here. तर फाउंडेशन बोल्ट कुठं असतील हो जनरली? तर जमिनीच्या खाली का जमिनीच्या वर? फाउंडेशन कुठं असतं एखादं? इट विल टेक एक्झाम्पल ऑफ बिल्डिंग. वेअर विल बी द फाउंडेशन ऑफ दॅट बिल्डिंग? कुठं असतं फाउंडेशन? बेसिक सिव्हिल इंजिनिअरिंग. आर यू विथ मी? एम आय ऑडिबल? तुम्ही आहात का माझ्या बरोबर
Yes,
सगळे?
sir.
फाउंडेशन कुठं असतं? एखाद्या बिल्डिंगचं असेल, कशाचंही असेल. वेर इट इज? कुठं असतं फाउंडेशन? जमिनीच्या खाली का जमिनीच्या वरती? Obviously it is below ground. So if you see here in this image also, so here you will find this. Here I'm making red. So this is foundation. Concrete is there, concrete structure, concrete. So you keep in mind rag foundation bolt and eye foundation bolt. These are the bolts used. These are the bolts are used to fix the machine with their foundation. मेनली कुठं वापरलं जातं? हे फाउंडेशन बोल्ट हे मशीन फिक्स करण्यासाठी त्याच्या फाउंडेशन मध्ये हे वापरले जातात. रिमेनिंग वी विल सी आफ्टरवर्ड. अँड वन होमवर्क आय विल गिव्ह हिअर. दिस टाइप ऑफ बोल्ट हॅव यू सीन इन प्रॅक्टिकल? प्रॅक्टिकल मध्ये कुठं बोल्ट बघितलाय का? नसेल तर हा ऑब्झर्व करायचा आणि मला याचं ऍप्लिकेशन सांगायचं. इन नेक्स्ट लेक्चर you have to tell me the application of this. You have to tell me the application of this. Okay. So what is the application of this? You have to tell in next lecture. So this type of two nuts and further one is there. We will see next lecture. Before that, one notice for you. So there will be